Hey guys, Esquire Codex, checking in with you. How are you guys doing? It's a dreary day outside this morning. Rain, rain, come again, drown the skeleton away, so I am free to come out. Okay, this is interesting. This is actually really cool. See those little stones there? That's where I popped out of the earth. um, so I was under earth last time in a big mine, and I started somewhere over there, I think. And I was just going through a bunch of tunnels, and then I eventually had to dig myself stairway out, and I popped up right here, right by my house, which was neat because I was honestly quite afraid that I might be lost because I had gone underground and been underground for a while, and I was started way over there, so I was like, I might get lost, might not. Is that the correct order of words? Might not find my way home. And I popped up right here. I was like, ooh, daylight, ooh, house. It was cool. It was really cool. Now I got plenty of iron, so I was able to get some iron tools back and iron pantalones. And that was nice. Ooh, another cavern. So this time, I'm just gonna explore a little more around the house. Oh snap! For now, and then maybe next time or pretty soon, I'm gonna start just adventuring, because I realized I started this hardcore mode to check out all the new features. My world, my pretty house. Well, I got score 601. You know what we're gonna do? Alright, single player. Create new world. No creepers. Game mode. Hardcore. Create new world. So the frustration right now is high. Very high. I was very happy with that world. So very happy. Alright. But what we're going to do this time, to build some tools, we're just going to run free. Alright? We're just going to, I just want to run free, you know, get somewhere. I don't know. I might build another house again. Build it off screen. Surprise you guys with something cool. I don't even know what I'm doing here. I just wanted to live long time on world, build up something cool. But we'll get there. Guess I just played. Man, I had a full suit of iron. That was a strong creeper. Didn't help that I jumped into him, I guess. Oh well. I guess, so is life. Alright. I will try to stay away from creepers in this world. Anyways, let's talk about a book. Now, it feels nice to finish some books. Because last month, I've had 3 books started, and I've just kind of been slowly going through each of them and not finishing one to completion. But now, I've completed some. So I finished Catch 22 last week, and then I was able to move on to Learning to Love Math and finish that one. And it was nice to finally just complete a few books. Feels good. Feels good to see real progress made. Also, that Learning to Love Math book, I mean, really it was great, and it was great in an interesting way. So, often I've found when I'm reading, looking for ideas to implement in the classroom, activities to use for different lesson topics, people come up with really just silly ideas, or incredibly basic, or ideas that would really only work in the elementary classroom, or sound kind of good in theory, but if you were to actually apply them, students would be like, this is dumb and simple. I don't want to do this. And interestingly enough, Learning to Love Math, that book, really kind of had that same idea. She had tons of strategies in there, like real practical things to use. And they were good, but good for the elementary classroom. Not for high school math. I need something a little more sophisticated and for upper levels of math. And she just didn't really have that in her book. Yet I still gave it a 5 out of 5 star rating, and I loved it. Why? Because interesting, it was not the strategy she gave, but so the big drive of this book is that she's a neuroscientist and a math teacher, so she gave all this neuroscientists this brain study, brain research of how students learn, the environment they need, how the brain works and functions best while learning. So the drive behind this book was that she could implement actual research into her strategies and be like, this actually works because, brain research supports this. So it wasn't her actual strategies that I really liked because those were elementary level. But for some reason, what she wrote about in between those strategies got my brain going, got my imagination running, and allowed me to kind of build off of what she talked about to actually think of things that would work in my own classroom or give me ideas, and I actually came up with a fairly good list, and it was an inspiring book to read. Kind of, just provide ideas. And so that's why I like the book. Not for what the book had, but what the book allowed me to come up with myself. Interesting process of enjoying a book so much. But in that book she talked a bit about how to learn well, students have to be in a good environment and not fear math and just be comfortable in the classroom. Just that idea in itself, it's key. But how do you make your students be comfortable? Because they come in with such a resentment against math. But anyway, so maybe I'll talk about that another time. But you're not here to hear about teaching, and that's what I've been talking about for the last few videos. You're here to hear about books. So, next I'm going to move on to this idea of, when you read a book, at least this is what happens to me. When I read a book, it seems like I forget it, right away, because I'm reading so many other books, it's like I forget what this one book was about. And I read it, and it's great for the first couple of weeks after I'm done, but after that, I seem to forget it. Until I get something related to the book that jogs my memory, and all of a sudden, it's like the book comes back to me in its content. And I'm like, oh yeah, and I do remember it. It's still in there in my brain somewhere, I just gotta find it. I keep a quote book from books I've read. And whenever I go through that quote book and read a quote from a book, even if it's like a year ago, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, this happened in this setting, and this was going on in the book, and hey, I actually remember the plot of the book. I love that fact that, yeah, I read that, and I actually do remember it. I didn't just read it for that 1 month period where it's in my short-term memory. Something actually got in my long-term memory. It's encouraging. And that's one thing I'd encourage, start a quote book from books you've read, or something, that little snippets from the book that you can look back on and it'll jog your memory. Because it's just fun to remember and reminisce on the books. I brought that up because I visited Mount Vernon with my sisters 2 days ago. And this summer, I had read the biography on biography on George Washington by Ron Chernow. If you recall, I talked about that quite a bit. But when I had got to Mount Vernon at the start, I was kind of like, I hope I remember a lot of things, and maybe as we walk along, I can tell my sisters about some of the interesting things that I learned in that book. And that was at the start of right when we got to Vernon. But off the surface, I was like, but I don't remember anything. So I was like, probably, I don't know. But it was fun because as the tour went on and as we were walking around, different things jogged my memory. Seeing the slave quarters. What else? Different things in the house itself, just like jogged a little thing, and I was actually able to talk to my sister about things I remembered from the book and that I had learned from the book. And I was like, hey, I actually remember what I read. And that's just so makes me happy. And I was, able to give little anecdotes to my sisters. Maybe they were interested in them. Maybe they weren't. Oh well, made me happy that I could remember something I had read and could share it. So what are some instances that you guys have come across where, you thought you forgot in the book, but what jogged your memory to let you remember it? I like hearing about that because, it's nice to know that what you read is actually has value beyond that short term while you're reading it. Well, guys, welcome to a new world. So disappointing. Hopefully I'll have some good tools to do something with next time. Tell me also, do you enjoy this hardcore mode where I do just totally lose the world, or would you rather me just play on a permanent world where we can actually establish something? Is this whole hardcore mode thing just not doing good? Because I'm apparently just dying all the time, so I'm having a hard time staying alive. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Till next time, Esquire Codex.